Hey everybody out there in TV land, or I should say YouTube land. That's a really bad Art Carney and Norton impersonation. You know, I can't watch the Honeymooners like I used to. They're a little too sexist, but some of the stuff is still funny to me. Occasionally, I'll watch a clip. I'm gonna put a clip of that little bit in there because there's just the two guys making fun of themselves. Whenever Ralph is telling Alice he's gonna punch her, I can't watch it no more. I can't watch it. I don't know. I just can't do it. I can't watch the thing. Anyway, I mean, why would you say you're gonna punch your wife? That's not funny to me. You know, but there are parts of that show that's funny. Anyway, it's not what this is about. Okay.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. Go.
Oh, hello there. I didn't know I had company. Do you mind if I visit with you for a while?
What's it about? Okay, so over the course, I'm making sure that's on because this camera acts screwy sometimes. It does things to get me. Okay, so over the course of my career, which is a career, I started out when I was 16 with fake ID, playing at the Pleasantville Dinner Theater in New York, playing Godspell. Cruise ships, Mark Farner, you name it. But throughout the course of my career, people have come up to me, especially in the last couple of years, and excuse me, I don't know what that is, and would say to me, "Boy, your roles are so smooth. Like, how do you keep your roles so smooth?" And I've said this before. I'm definitely not the fastest. I'm not the most crazy polyrhythmic guy, but the fundamentals, I got them. I got those. All right, now let's talk about this a little bit. So, how do I do it? Because if you're like me, if you're busy, maybe you're 30 years old, maybe you got a day gig, right? I don't know. So me, I teach. Now that's part of it. I teach drums, and you know, on Mondays I got about 5-6 students. On Tuesdays I got 5-6 students. On Saturdays I got like 11 students or something like that at Guitar Center. And so I'm spending a lot of time every day with these kids, a lot of them, not all of them, doing like my drop and catch, drop catch, and doing my fundamentals, doing the seesaw, you know? And so I do spend a lot of time. So that's a caveat, and I can't discount that if that's in my favor for keeping my wrist muscles moving the way they need to move. However, that wouldn't be it, because if that was all I did, it'd be a problem. I would find myself losing as far as the ability to really flow and improv. Hold on a second, have another sip of my tea. Hold on. Let me just grab another sip of the tea. When I got to spend some time with Buddy Rich, Buddy said to me on his bus one time when we were just talking, I was like 17 years old, he said, whenever I see a guy who has a good double stroke roll, more often than not, he's going to be a good drummer. I know that's not always the case, and I think he may have overstated it, but there's truth to that, because the ability to flow, the seed of everything you do on the drums, I can't stress that enough, the seed of everything you do comes from that technique of creating that kinetic energy motor in your hands, right, to play around the kit and move freely without getting all tense and all that kind of stuff. So if you're like me, I mean, like a typical week, I've got, all right, Monday nights I teach from like, 4 to 9, the same on Tuesdays. Saturdays I teach from like 11 to 7. Friday and Saturdays I usually have gigs. In the summer I get midweek as well, and then I'm doing Uber when I gotta make ends meet and things are slow. On top of that, right, I'm taking college courses right now. I don't know why. I'm 60 years old. I want to change things up a little bit. Taking some courses, actually Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. Right, so I'm busy. I don't have 6 hours a day, right, to practice my kit. I don't have it. right? So what do I do? Because you gotta, this is what you have to keep that double stroke roll good. You have to keep it relaxed and smooth. Okay, so what do I do? And that's what I'm going to show you now. This is a good habit to get into. My pad and my trusty metronome. All right? I sit down in front of my TV. I get home from a day of teaching or working, it's still blinking, good. And I put on one of my shows I like to watch. And I mess around on the pad. That's not all I do. We're going to talk about a couple of things I do. But I get my metronome clicking. I happen to have it today. Now, I'm not into doing just the fastest metronome marking I can, right? I'll spin the dial and pick different markings at different times. Right now, I have this at 101 beats a minute, right? 101, but clicking on only 2 and 4. Now, I've said this before. You can listen to Mr. 6030, whatever the hell he is, right? And what he says is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Putting the metronome on the DA of 3 does nothing for you except make you do mental gymnastics to remember where you have the metronome on. I say that, I'm a nobody, but Jeff Berlin is one of the great bass players of the world. He says that, he ain't a nobody. I think Victor Wooten said the same thing. I think many guys have said the same thing. That idea is ludicrous. He's just, and when he tries to get you to do it, it's because you get nothing. I believe this guy had nothing to put in his lesson. He tells you this kind of stuff, and you're sending him money. It's like, why? Because it is very hard to do, but it does nothing for your playing. Anyway, let's move on from that. Putting it on 2 and 4, now the metronome becomes a check for my time. A check for my time, because it's not doing all 4. It's leaving out 1 and 3. It's not keeping time for me, but it's checking my time. It's checking my time. You got that? Right? And I don't have to do any mental gymnastics to remember it's on 2 and 4. So this is what I would do. I'm watching TV. I'm messing around. And I'm going to mess around with my rudiments, my double stroke roll. I'm just going to improvise while I'm watching something, right? I'm going to watch. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So if you notice, I stop a lot. I stop a lot because I want those spaces and for me to come back in with the metronome. Now you can hear, I wasn't dead on all the time. Nobody is. No human would be. But I was pretty damn close. You know, DA double hockey sticks. Pretty damn close with that metronome all the time. And that just helps to make 2 things happen. My double stroke rolls. Right, again, I'm not looking to do them as fast as they've ever been done in the history of mankind. I'm looking for smoothness, no tension in my body. I'm just watching TV and improvising. That's going to get me ready for the show when all the distractions are going on. I'm going to be able to think and improvise. I've got my time being checked by the metronome. And then, of course, I've got my fingers working the stick to do my double stroke roll, creating that kinetic energy motor in my hands that is necessary for the free flow of playing, right? All of that while I'm watching New Amsterdam, right? And that's what I've been watching lately, even though sometimes it really gets to me, you know, especially when Georgia died. Okay, forget it. Whenever a man balls, I love saying that. It's funny to me. It's funny.
Sorry, but that's...
Please don't cry like that. Please don't, Brennan. I told you that they would feel completely to blame.
Let's grow up.
I'm going to throw up. I think I'm going to throw up.
Don't throw up.
It's funny to me. Anyway, I have another exercise I'm going to do. Let me reset this camera, and there's an exercise I'm going to show you that you don't even need the metronome for that's going to make you great. Be right back.
Ray Cal, who are you? Ray Cal, who was that? Ray Cal, who are you?
All right, we're back. I have a Canon TR7, good camera. I like it. It's all I can afford right now. But it has 11 minutes of time that it will take a movie for, and I gotta reset it. And it's a pain when you've done a good job and you get there and it says out of time. Okay, so the second thing I do, and this is working on my finger strength, especially being 60 years old. I need to work my finger strength, right? So this is what I do, this little exercise that I don't know if I've seen this somewhere or I just came up with it, but I'm gonna go what I call 8, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right? I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? And I'm gonna keep doing that until I feel like switching. Right? Especially like if there's a scene I really want to pay attention to, or maybe there's, you know, your significant other is, you know, wanting to listen, like, shut up! I'm trying to listen! You know, maybe that's happening. And, you know, you could take a break and you turn the metronome off or something and do this. Or so, watch. I'm going to just do it, right? I'll try to yell out the numbers, right? So, again, I do this two ways. One way is not for speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, this is about my fingers, the motions, the kinetic energy motor, right? Not about speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just watching TV, right? But I can hear that 8. I hope so. Now, 5. 4. 3. 2. Again, when I'm here, I'm looking for every note being nice and even. Nothing louder than the other, right? But then I'm going to do the same thing again, but really fast. Here we go. And when I say really fast, that's relative. Vinnie Colaiuta would do this and it'd be a blur, light speed. Not going to happen with me. But here's how I would do it. Now I'm back to my doubles. Again, I'm not zooming, but again, I want a nice, even flow. Even flow. Nice and relaxed. No hassle. No pain. You know, no tensing, no thumb cramping. That happens a lot to guys, right? And then I'll put some mustard on it. Right? And then I'll go back to playing around with my metronome. You do this. Again, do I do this every day? No. 2, sometimes 3 times a week if I'm lucky. That's what I do with the TV on. And you do this, work on those fingers, you will become great. Oh, you may not be able to do 19 over 27 or whatever the 80-20 guy is hocking, but you'll be able to keep a groove and a pocket so relaxed and so warm and so cool. There'll be a line from here to Canarsie, I don't know, to play with you. All right? I'm going to take you out and get the metronome going. And here we go. We'll do a little traditional grip.